Boom. Okay. All right. So we're running just a little bit behind, but we're doing fine. Here we go, fellas. Good morning. Welcome. Ha! Or welcome back to the Hat and Beard Show. Had a minor technical issue right out the rip there where our old camera, well, my fat ass bumped the cord out. So we had a disconnect. But hey, how you doing? Welcome into the Hat and Beard Show. Thanks for telling a friend. Thanks for tuning in. That's what we love about you. We got some stories to talk about today before we talk about Detroit Lions and the upcoming preseason week 2 matchup tomorrow night. That's right, tomorrow night, Friday evening, a little Friday night football action for you at 7 o'clock. The Lions and Falcons going to be squaring off. But before we talk about that, we do have a little bit of information, a little bit of talking points here. An Eagles-Titans stunner among worst trades in NFL history. The Eagles and Titans completed one of the most talked about deals in recent memory. And what's crazy is, oh, what's up, Chase? Good morning, brother. How you doing? Thanks for hanging out, dude. What's crazy about this trade is I didn't even realize that this trade happened in the 2022 draft. I thought this trade happened so long ago. I thought this trade happened 7 some years ago. I hadn't realized this. We're talking about when, you guys remember way back when A.J. Brown was a member of the Tennessee Titans. We're talking about that trade between the Titans and the Eagles. And it rocked my world to think that it's only been like 3 some years. You know what I'm saying? That's insane. So on top of that, so this kind of tie it all together here for everybody. The Eagles, A.J. Brown feels, quote, a little sad for old Treylon Burks after the Titans 2022 draft day trade. Now, the reason that I have a poll up here, and this kind of ties into these two stories right off the rip, is better Arkansas Razorback wide receiver product. Our guy here, 1 preseason game in, Isaac Tesla, or former first-round pick, Treylon Burks. You got a couple options to pick from. You got Isaac Tesla, Treylon Burks, or our favorite, AOC's Tatas. Let's go. We got it tied 50-50 between Isaac Tesla and AOC's Tatas. Good morning, everybody. We got a full gamut. Everybody, Sam, Brent, Mr. Trade City, Jeanette, how you guys doing? What's up, Chase? Chase out there grinding himself, still at work and managing to tune in. I appreciate it, brother. That's what's up. So we're gonna see what A.J. Brown has to say about the trade that ultimately landed him in Philadelphia, where he's been able to secure a ring, and for all intents and purposes has had a relatively productive career. On account of being, just really unlocked by Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts and him. It seemed you also compliment A.J. Brown with the old Slim Reaper there, Devonta Smith. So when you have that many weapons, somebody's going to pop off. And A.J. Brown is I'll give him credit. He's a talented. He's a good wide receiver. You know what I'm saying? Uh-oh, is there something going on with the stream here? Yep. Something's fucky. Dude, what is going on here? Give me a few minutes here, fellas. Give me a few seconds here. Camera's still plugged in. Huh. Let's see. What's up, Carrie? We're trying to deal with some audio or some video situation right now, brother. Sometimes if you change the source of your camera and switch it back, it unfreezes. Okay, that's what's up, Chase. Where would I find that at? Where would sources be? Ad source. Well, I had this butthole feeling today was going to go like this. It's been just, everything's been kind of dog fuckered all week long. You know what I'm saying? In OBS, the one you always have C. Yeah, so like I'm on that one.
If you can,
Shit.
If you can
Shit.
say
My bad,
the
guys.
word good,
Go ahead and mute that.
guess what?
Did that mute it?
It means you're still alive. It means you're still breathing.
God damn it.
And if you're still breathing,
Clicking around too much, fellas.
well then hell,
Clicking
you still
around
got
too
some
much.
fight left
Don't know what
in
the
you.
fuck I'm doing.
So get up, dust off, reload, recalibrate, re-engage,
Let's see if that works.
and go out on the attack.
Did that. Hey, oh, boom. All right. Hey, excellent. Chase, I think we got her. Are we unfrozen on your guys' end? Okay, cool. All right. Hey, Motor City Kitty. I don't know. Motor City Kitty asks, why are the captions available during live shows? Not during. Why are captions unavailable during live shows, but available on replay? I have no idea. I don't know. I don't do anything on my end to like enable closed captioning or anything like that. It's probably because if you watch it on replay, YouTube has a little bit of time to break down what I'm mumbling about. You know what I'm saying? Like they can break down what kind of gibberish and nonsense I'm just spewing from my gingery mouth hole. But I don't know. I really couldn't answer that for you. I'm sorry. We are working on the audio for you, though. I'm hoping it's a little bit louder for you to hear. All right, guys, let's go. We're now running a little bit behind, but that's okay. That's fine. I don't give a fuck anymore. So after we talked about it'd be a lot cooler if you did, man. Hell yeah. Now we're going to talk about the Lions depth chart, breaking down the reality of Detroit's unofficial list versus Hotlanta week 2. Let's go. To tie that in together, though, the question is, Lions undecided on playing Tyleik the Freak Williams or Tate or Ratledge week 2 against the Falcons. What do you say? What do you guys say? Ooh, look at my girl, Jamie Erdahl. Look at Jamie Erdahl. What do you guys say? The Lions are still not 100% decided on playing their top 2 draft picks in Atlanta. So that means that we will at least see our guy, Isaac Tesla, and a lot of Isaac Tesla, probably a lot of Dominic Lovett too. I'm hoping, Art Vanderlei, you're saying sit him, huh? I would like to see Ratledge. I'd like to see a little bit out of Ratledge. Protect Leak. You got to protect Leak the Freak at all costs. We cannot afford another injury. Look, we can't really afford an injury to either of these guys at either of their position groups. But we really can't afford a big blow to the defensive line, especially at the defensive tackle spot with Lee McNeil being out. And then the injury the lack of availability for Levi Onwuzurike. Obviously, Josh Paschal's still down. So Leak's going to have a lot of pressure put on him right out of the rip. So we can't have Leak go down. So I'm totally cool with Leak sitting. But I wouldn't mind seeing what the Taters got, seeing what old Tater Ratledge has, the Motor City mullet. You know what I'm saying? Lovett is out with an injury. Oh, okay, Art Vanderlei. Well, wouldn't that kind of be it for Dominic Lovett then? Isn't he? Can he bounce back? Say he is out for a couple of practices and he starts to trend downwards. Obviously, we kind of see what we're getting out of Isaac Tesla. Does Tesla continue to ascend? Khalif Raymond's been having himself a big couple days in practice. Does Tim Patrick finally turn it around? You know what I'm saying? Or will this be the time? Will this be the time if Dominic Lovett is out for an extended period of time at all or starts to trend downwards? Is it Tom Kennedy? TK85 time. Will it be TK85 time? Tom Kennedy. Let's freaking go. And then we'll bookend talking about undecided players by hitting it right at Pride of Detroit, Jeremy Reisman. Biggest Detroit Lions storylines to watch at every position in the preseason versus the Falcons. We go through every position and break down the biggest storylines for the Detroit Lions in their second preseason game. I like what Jeremy Reisman does. You like what Jeremy Reisman does, and that's what we are here for. So, guys, now that we have things fixed and underway, I appreciate the chat. You guys holding tight, rocking with me through some technical difficulties. Also, can we all give a big shout out to Chase down in the chat for helping me troubleshoot technical issues through the chat alone? Let's go, Chase. Thank you, brother. Seriously, really appreciate all that you do for me, man. I'm not just talking shit, dude. I really, really, I was starting to get a little irritated. A little irritated. So the chat going on. Love it is out with an injury. Tesla has been putting in time. I think the rookies need some playing time. I think the rookies need a lot of playing time, Sam. I'd like to see what we got. Let's see what the rookies can do. Protect Tyleik, though. We got to protect Tyleik. They are rookies. Chase, that's what's up. You know, it's hard to explain things via chat. You did a great job, though, bro. You did a great job. You were like, hey, dum-dum, here's water. You just need to drink. So, guys, if you haven't already, appreciate all you've done for me with sharing, commenting, engaging in the chat. Don't forget, we got a poll up here, 8 votes already. What Razorback wide receiver product is better? Isaac Tesla or Treylon Burks? Walking off with the W. Isaac Tesla, 62%. Treylon Burks, 0%. Probably just a little bit of Lions biasy going in on to that. And then, of course, coming in second place, our Miss Mid herself, Ms. Manhattan Mid, AOC's Tatas. Let's go. Press all my bells and buttons. Assault the like button. Hit it with a 2-piece and a biscuit on your way over to subscribe to the channel if you're new here. And ring that notification bell so that you can be notified every morning we go live. This week has been a little goofy, but good news, guys. Contract negotiations were so terrible yesterday that we aren't even having negotiations on Friday because it's so much of a colossal waste of time. I can't legally get into it in too much detail, but no need. We will not be doing. I can't do a pregame show on Friday because I have to work now Friday night. I don't get to work days, so there will be no pregame show, but we will be in our normal time slot, 10 a.m. to talk Lions Falcons tomorrow morning. So make sure that notification bell is rang. Otherwise, you will not know when we go live Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here at YouTube.com. We are the fastest and largest growing Detroit Lions content and NFL content creation station, broadcasting exclusively in the 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. slot, streaming from the luxurious Grandma Studio One. You guys, should I run the intro again, or are we already into it? We already ran the intro. I don't want to bog you down and get you too hype with our custom intro made with some crispy Jocko Willink motivational speeches. So let's hit the oil can and let's read this story here. Coming to us from Sports Illustrated on the Eagles. The Eagles Titans stunner amongst worst trades in NFL history. The Eagles and Titans are completed one of the most talked about trade deals in recent memory. There have been plenty of great deals for the Philadelphia Eagles over the years. Howie Roseman and the front office are one of the best in the business for a reason. It seems like year in and year out, the staff finds a way to get some of the most game-changing deals done. It's not always obvious. Like last year, the Eagles signed Zach Bond, and then had all of a sudden, he turned into an All-Pro and AP Defensive Player of the Year award finalist. Sorry, Zach Bond kind of just said, "Oh, hello, NFL. I would like to make some money." And the Eagles were like, "Okay, now you can make money." And he's like, "Bet. Thank you." They paid him, and, well, he performed. You know what I'm saying? There are other moves that immediately impressed, though. For example, when the Eagles acquired A.J. Brown from the Tennessee Titans ahead of the 2022 NFL season. Oof, poor Tennessee. Damn, it's low-key. I'm a quiet Tennessee Titans fan. I've talked about that before. I liked me some Frank Wycheck back when he played for the Titans before he died. Loved me some Eddie George, and Steve Ayer McNair liked him too before he died. I was a big fan of Derek Mason too, but now the Titans are just kind of one of those perpetually shitbag teams, you know what I'm saying? The deal has been phenomenal for the Eagles, but the exact opposite could be said for Tennessee. Where Eagles-Titans fans falls amongst the worst trades in NFL history. Now, again, if we're only talking about the Eagles, this deal would be ranked as one of the top overall trades in team history. While in this case, CBS Sports' Jared Dubin, compiled a list of the top 12 worst deals in NFL since 2000. That's the last 25 years, and the Eagles-Titans trade at number 5. It should have been number 2. Imagine being the trade that was the number 2 worst trade in the last 25 years, you know. Number 5, A.J. Brown for Treylon Burks and 3rd-round pick. Brown didn't really have superstar counting stats during his time with the Titans. In 3 years, he averaged 62 catches for 900 yards and 8 touchdowns. He did that while missing a few games a year and averaging 73-1 on 184 yards per 17 games. He did it in one of the lowest volume passing offenses in the league while racking up monstrous per route and per target efficiency stats. The Titans traded him thinking they were giving away a solid wide receiver whom they could immediately replace with a first-round pick in Treylon Burks. Little did they know that the only reason that his numbers didn't look good was because when you have Derek Yeti in the backfield, apparently, regardless of age, Derek Yeti is just going to run everybody over. He can be your entire offense, and that's why they felt comfortable. First of all, they knew they had Derek Yeti in the backfield to carry the offense, but then they also were like, hey, your numbers aren't so good. You're not that great. We can easily replace you. And it's like, no, you just handcuffed him and refused to utilize your weapon properly. Things did not work out that way. Brown has continued to dominate in Philadelphia, translating his per-route stats over larger samples and averaging 87 catches for 1,300 yards and 8 touchdowns per season, and playing a key role in 2 Super Bowl appearances and last year's Super Bowl victory. He's been second-team All-Pro all 3 seasons with the Eagles. Burks struggled to even get on the field in the regular receiver rotation through his first 3 seasons and has been wholly unable to stay healthy. He just went on injured deserve for the 3rd time in 4 years. I don't know if that's a typo, injured deserve, or if that's what they meant to do. If that's what they meant to do, that's low-key pretty funny. Injured deserve, that's where you deserve to be, you broke-ass bitch. Let's be real. Who would you rather have had? Treylon Burks or signed a bunch of money, or paid a bunch of money to sign Kenny Golladay? Could you imagine? Could you imagine if you were a team that both signed Kenny Golladay and drafted Treylon Burks? Could you imagine if you were that team? That would fucking suck, dude. It's hard to argue against that. The Eagles got a top 5 wide receiver in the game, and Tennessee has been missing him ever since. That sucks for Tennessee. And boy, has A.J. Brown just flourished. He got paid, too. He got paid. He's flourishing. He got paid. How do you guys feel down in the chat? How we doing, chat? 8 votes. All right. Still hanging strong. Any updates on what Rakestraw surgery was all about? Yes, Art, I did see what went down with the penis break straw. They had to go in. Now, this is why he's going to miss some time. All right. Enos Rakestraw, they had to go in surgically and remove a bunch of, it had built up over time is what it was. There's a bunch of stuff that built up over time. And what they had to do was they had to go in and remove a bunch of sand out of his vagina, right? And it's going to take him a long time to heal from all of the sand that was in his vagina. So, you know, a vaginal sand extractodomy, or whatever they want to call it, it's going to take some time for him to recover from. And it doesn't really matter. I'm not really worried about Enos Breakstraw in his sandy vagina and if he's available or not. Because, you know, Rock Ya-Sin is fucking sweet. All right, boom. I think Rock Ya-Sin is a better player than Breakstraw and doesn't have a tendency to accumulate a bunch of sand in his vagina. That's the news on Enos Rakestraw. The truth is, no, I have no idea. I have no idea about Breakstraw. I just know he's not available, and that's whatever, you know. When Detroit drafted Golladay, I was like, who the F is that? Sam, yeah, dude, I think we all were like, who is this Kenny Golladay guy? Oh, let's be real, though. Matt Stafford made him padded up his stats, just like Pad Stafford liked to do, right? Padded Stafford stats and padded Golladay stats. And Kenny Golladay, he got paid and then just fucking pulled a Carmen Sandiego and disappeared. You know what I'm saying? But hey, you know, it is what it is. So the Eagles, A.J. Brown, connecting to bookend the first story, feels a little sad for Treylon Burks after 2022 draft day trade. The careers of A.J. Brown and Treylon Burks will forever be intertwined after the 2022 draft day trade between the Eagles and Titans. And doesn't it feel like that trade happened a long time ago? Does it not feel like that trade happened 7 years ago? It's wild to think that it was just 3 years ago. The Titans reset to pay Brown has desired his rate at that time, sent the receiver to Philly, and used a first-round pick to swap to draft Burks at 18 overall. The ripple effect of the trade continues. During a recent episode of Barstool's Pardon My Take, Brown was asked about the effects of the trade on both players. The veteran voiced pity. Wow. The veteran voiced pity for how things have gone for Burks. Damn. Damn. That's a statement right there. He voiced pity. Yeah? Is he also going to kiss him on the forehead? I'm grateful that happened. I outgrew the situation at Tennessee, Brown said via the Tennessean. I'm glad this happened because I felt like I was meant to shine. I'm a peacock, and you got to let me spread my wings. I got to fly. We needed a big team with a big market, and I think this is the right place and the best fit for me. I'm a little sad for Treylon Burks. I wish he could get healthy because he's a good kid. I talked to him numerous times. I've got his number, and it sucks to see it go down like that. The trade will go down as one of the most lopsided in recent memory. The Eagles landed a playmaker who has put up over 1,000 yards in every season. He's been with the club and helped propel them to 2 Super Bowls, including this last year's championship. Well, that was, yes. A.J. Brown was a huge part of that, but let's be real. That defense, coupled with Saquon Barkley, is what won them a Super Bowl. Saquon Barkley was a fucking monster last year. Burks, on the other hand, caught a total of 53 passes for 699 yards and 1 touchdown. Not on average. That's in 3 total seasons. So originally I thought the poll question would be, and let me know down in the chat, do you guys think Isaac Tesla could put up more numbers in his rookie year than Treylon Burks has put up in his career? 1 touchdown's not going to be hard to beat, but can Isaac Tesla, as a rookie, put up more numbers than his Razorback alumni has put up in his entire career? Can Tesla go for 54 catches and 700 yards and at least 2 touchdowns? First of all, if that happens, JG16's throwing for 5,000 yards wholeheartedly, because that means that hopefully Amon-Ra's having a monster year and Jamo's having a monster year, but Sam Laporta's having a monster year. That means everybody's clicking. That means Goff is I can't snap with my left hand. I look stupid. Firing on all cylinders, you know what I'm saying? Beset by constant injuries, he played in just 27 total games, including 5 in 2024. And was waived by the club with an injury designation this offseason after a fractured collarbone during training camp. Burks later reverted to Tennessee's injured reserve. Wow, okay, hello. Tinnitus, hello. Okay, that's wild. Hello. Damn, sorry, guys. Ex-Tennessee general manager John Robinson has gone on record saying he wished he could have a mulligan for the Brown trade. The entire 2022 draft for Robinson looks rough. Burks, Roger McCreary in the second round, Nicholas Petit Fieri, third round, Malik Willis in the third round, Hassan Haskins in the fourth round, Chigomi Okonowo in the fourth round, Link placeholder 6, Theo Jackson, and Chase Campbell. Only McCreary and Okonowo, whatever his name is, remains in Tennessee. Damn, I'm having a hard time over here. Give me a second, fellas. Woo! 700 yards seems a little high for a rookie in our system, but possible for sure, Brent. That's what I say. Like, that's okay, if Tesla goes for 700 and fucking yards on plus 54 catches and 2 or more touchdowns, you're going to have a hard time convincing me that he can't replace Jameson Williams. You know what I'm saying? JMO fans don't like to think Tesla will hit that because they think JMO's going to catch 200 balls and 3,000 yards. Yeah, Mr. Detroit City, you're right. Dude, this is fucking driving me nuts right now. Yeah, you're right. You're Mr. Trey City. They do think that JMO is going to go absolutely bananas. Absolutely bananas. I'm sorry, Art. I didn't get a chance to read that, dude. I think it depends on how fast he can take more of Patrick snaps. So, yeah, Brent, am I reading everything right? Am I hearing through the grapevine that our boy Fireball Tim Patrick is not having that great of a year? Or camp? Wow, my fucking hearing is fucked up right now. This is really driving me nuts. It looks like Fireball Tim Patrick's not having a great camp. Khalif Raymond having a good camp, and we all know that Tesla's having a monster of a camp so far. So theoretically, in my book, if Tesla outperforms in 1 year what Treylon Burks has done in his career, so that'd be 54 catches, 700 yards, and 2 touchdowns. That's going to put a tremendous amount of leverage for the Detroit Lions on whether or not they do or do not want to aggressively extend Jameson Williams. Maybe they extend him midseason. Who fucking knows? But if Tesla in his rookie year goes out and starts doing Cooper Cup things, you're going to have a hard time convincing me that we don't have a guy on a rookie scale contract that can produce at an elite level right out the rip. And then it again moves Jameson Williams back into the best luxury to have in the NFL, because his value will just continue to climb and climb and climb. Whether you want to continue to use his talents and have him on roster, that's up to Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell and the monies that are available and what JMO wants to do. Or you flex his elite level status at that time, knowing that you have somebody waiting in the wings that can totally produce at the exact same level, just in different styles of ways. And then you trade him away to continue to amass a bunch of draft capital that Brad Holmes has statistically been able to hit on more times than not. Did any of that make sense? Patrick's looking his age, unfortunately. Yeah, Brent. Well, and the thing with Fireball Tim Patrick is not only is he looking his age, but I mean, I think he's had 2 ACLs, and I think he had both of his 2 ACLs, and I thought he had an Achilles injury, but I'm pretty sure he's had both of his knees completely dog fucked. Titans pulled a Texans move, Hopkins Watson trade. Yep, and he just had a yard sale as soon as they got rid of Rabel. You knew they were starting over. Yeah, they really, like, when Tennessee just started having a fire sale and everything, you knew that, and Rabel went, they went and hit the Acme plunger and just cartoonishly blew everything up, and we're starting over from ground zero, just in a very gross, violent way. Dan was trying to boost Patrick in his press conference. Patrick left practice yesterday. What's up, broski? What's up, brother? How you doing, man? We're just about to get into... I swear, broski, you like to hang out or show up right when we're about to talk about exclusively Lions stuff, dude. You miss all the national news media, or all the national coverage, and you just show up right when we're about to talk Lions stuff, my guy. I don't blame you, dude. It's cool. It's cool. I appreciate you hanging out. So, yeah, Art, I did see that Patrick has been missing a lot of time, and he's just trending downward, so... Kind of a kick in the balls. I like Fireball Tim Patrick, but if this paves the way for our boy Tesla, if this opens the road for Tesla to run free, let's go, Isaac Tesla. All right, guys, we do have a poll up still in the chat. 9 votes, walking away with 67% of the vote. Better Razorback wide receiver product, Isaac Tesla or Treylon Burks. 67% of you say Isaac Tesla. 0% of you say Treylon Burks, and a whopping 33% of you say that our Manhattan mid-maiden AOC's Tatas are better than Treylon Burks. That is accurate for our Manhattan mid-maiden AOC, our big booty Latina. Let's go. Mr. Detroit City says, can't wait till JMO gets yeeted from the roster. And yeah, I said yeeted. Have you seen the yeet cannon that I think it's High Point makes? Somebody actually makes a pistol. It's called the yeet cannon or something like that. Lions depth chart breaking down the reality of Detroit's unofficial list versus Hotlanta. A-Town, peace out, A-Town down. The Detroit Lions have issued their required unofficial depth chart ahead of Friday night's preseason matchup with the Falcons in Atlanta. All teams are obligated to release depth charts for every game, though the accuracy of those depth charts can vary from team to team, depending on who fills them and how seriously the team cares about it. That's kind of the trend in the NFL right now. So the preseason rosters and the salary cap, it's only as real as you want to believe it is. For the Lions, the unofficial depth chart looks very realistic based on injury statuses and how reps have been divvied up in practices over the last week. This is the depth chart courtesy of Detroit Lions Media Relations. In this depth chart, depth chart for the team, not specific for the Falcons matchup on Friday night. The only first-team player listed here who might see any action at all is guard Tate Ratledge. The second-round rookie's reps figure to be limited. That's what I would like to see. I know you guys are like, protect the rookies, but I'd like to see what I'd like to see. I'd like to see him in game speed. Come on, I want to see what Tate or Ratledge got. And if he needs that little bit more polish, if the coaches feel he needs a little bit more polish, then who are we to question Motor City Dan Campbell? Let's just fucking go. Based on practice reps and performances, there are really only a couple of discrepancies deeper down the chart. Defensive back Eric Hallett is listed as the third team safety, but Hallett has consistently repped ahead of both Lawrence Strickland and Morris Norris. However, some of that work from Hallett has come at cornerback or nickelback. So in that context, having Hallett behind Strickland and Norris at safety isn't really wrong. Dan Jackson's injury has shaken that up too. Yeah, Dan Jackson, when you're a rookie like Dan Jackson or Dominic Lovett, you're really trying to rep your way up to get some to scrap your way onto the active roster. An injury during training camp could just be a giant gaping hole right in the hull of your ship. You know what I'm saying? The other obvious questionable listing also involves the secondary and an injury. It's been rare to find Enos the Penis Rakestraw healthy enough to practice, and now his most recent injury, a shoulder injury suffered Monday night, will keep the second-year cornerback sidelined for some time. Even before that most recent injury, Rakestraw was consistently repping behind Rock Ya-Sin, who had all but wrapped up the number 3 cornerback role out even if Rakestraw were on the field. Note that Ya-Sin has also seen some trial reps at safety in the wake of Jackson's injury. That's right. That's one of the nice advantages to having a well-seasoned veteran who has seen a lot of different plays, that you can start to kind of cross-train somebody like Rock Ya-Sin, who's going to be, your third corner, who's going to be your maybe out there on special teams, but also the flexibility to rotate him back to the safety spot, considering we might be a little bit light in the back end at safety. You know what I'm saying? It's nice to have a guy like Rock Ya-Sin, and I was very impressed with what we saw Rock Ya-Sin week 1. Hopefully that continues in week 2. Expect a considerable amount of reps for the players listed here on the 3rd and 4th lines on Friday night, as the Lions provide those players with a chance to get NFL reps and further sort out the bottom of the depth chart. Hell yeah, let's go. We'll look at the tomorrow, probably a closer look at the depth chart. Should we just look at it now? You guys just want to look at it now? All right, here we go. We're just going to look at it now. Wow. Nothing really shocking. Nothing really shocking. All of our starters are where they're at. Tate Ratledge is penciled in at the starting right guard spot. Christian Mahogany at your left guard spot, just like we predicted. Penei Sewell, Sam Laporta, Fireball Tim Patrick, Jared Goff, David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs. All right, so your second line players. So it looks like Dan Skipper's healthy. Should be rolling, maybe. Matui, Owoshika, Jamarco Jones. Let's go, Jamarco Jones, Brock Wright. And Hendon Hooker is penciled in at the number 2 wide receiver spot. Okay, that's what we like to see. We like to see him. And then are we going to see a little bit of Ronnie Bell action? Or is it going to be another Tesla big night? Not mad about it. Not mad about it. All right, so you do see Ali McNeil listed, but italicized due to injury. You know what I'm saying? This isn't bad. We'll take a closer look at this tomorrow, just to kind of poke around, see what we kind of expect. But I do like what we're seeing with Hendon Hooker penciled in at the number 2 spot right now, and Zach Horton down at fullback. I guess another tight end, but I expect Zach Horton to be our fullback moving forward. We'll look at that tomorrow. We'll take a closer look at the depth chart tomorrow. How's the chat? How we doing, chat? Good morning, chat. Chat. Can't wait till Gmo. Oh, we read that. I could see Tate going since it's his home college state. Oh, hey, Art. There you go. Thinking outside the box. That's what Yokiro Taco Bell, Art Vanderlei. That makes a lot of sense that we would give Tater a little bit of action playing in his home state in front of some friends and family, getting to go for maybe a little bit of discounted rate. Maybe he bought him some tickets, but getting to shine a little bit in front of his old hometown and college, fans. That makes sense, doesn't it? Doesn't that make a lot of sense? Yeah, Rock Ya-Sin looking like a good pickup. Isn't he, though, Brent? Isn't Rock Ya-Sin looking like another one of those just quietly producing, fits the culture, does everything we ask, just, I hate using the term because it's almost overplayed at this point, but just gritty, hard-nosed players. You know what I mean? Those guys that we just absolutely love to have. Hopefully we can clean up stuff and look more disciplined. Sam, I agree. I expect, and we will talk more about what we expect tomorrow. Tomorrow will be only Lions talk. We won't be doing any NFL national talk. It'll only be Lions talk tomorrow. I fully expect to see a much more polished and refined running offense and defense tomorrow. The misalignments, the penalties, the slow motion. I expect to see higher tempo, cleaner play, precision out of the quarterbacks, better decision making. Kyle Allen cannot fucking stare down his wide receivers all goddamn game long, or else he's just going to turn the ball over all goddamn game long. Hendon Hooker, I need to see you take that step, brother. You have 3 more games to make that fucking play, to make that thing, to make us go, there it is. There's our guy. There's our backup for the future. You know what I'm saying? So I expect to see a lot more polish on the team. There's a lot of mouths to feed, so I don't believe he'll be putting up significant numbers this season. 350 and 2 touchdowns. Broski, that is a very realistic take. I would be incredibly happy if he put up 350 and 2 touchdowns as your number 4 wide receiver with limited exposure due to just like you said, there are a ton of people ahead of you in line, brother. And the reality is if Tesla's hitting 700 yards, something has happened to one of the guys in the pecking order. Something has gone bad for them if Tesla's being targeted and getting that much production. But 350 and 2 is a very solid, very productive number for a third-round pick in a explosive offense that has a ton of motherfuckers ahead of you. Rocky Sin was good in college at Bama. Yeah, wasn't Rocky Sin a first or second-round pick? If Hendon sucks tomorrow, just drop him off back at UT on the way back to Detroit. Yeah, just swing by Rocky Top, just boot him off the bus and just keep on heading. Or drop him off at Columbus because that's where it looks like the Panthers are going to be moving to. So, if Hendon Hooker sucks tomorrow, if Hendon Hooker is really bad tomorrow, I'm pulling the ripcord. If Hendon Hooker is bad Friday night, if Hendon Hooker is not good, I mean very not good, I'm pulling the ripcord on him, dude. The leash has got to go with him then. You know what I mean? Sam, yeah, I'm still sticking with it, dude. I'm still sticking with Goff going for 5,000 yards. I might look and see if I can make some parlay bets on stats for Goff season long. I think Goff will easily I think Goff goes for 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns. That's my prediction for JG16 for MVP. In way to winning the NFL MVP, especially after he has 6 pick sixes against. Like he has 6 picks that he makes and returns against the Chicago Bears when Jared Goff decides to play defensive back against the Chicago Bears and troll Caleb Williams and small PP Benedict Arnold, bend over Ben Johnson, Osama Ben Johnson, the trader in the Windy City. All right, so over to Pride of Detroit. Lions undecided on playing Tyleik Williams, Tate Ratledge at Falcons. The Lions are still not 100% deciding on playing their top 2 picks in Atlanta. The Detroit Lions have established a precedent for not playing their starters in preseasons and instead opting to get them their necessary work in more controlled practice environment. At the same time, the Lions also believe that it's paramount to get their rookies as many snaps during training camp preseason as possible in order to shorten their development curve. Unfortunately, the Lions will occasionally find themselves in a situation where these 2 philosophies are in contrast. At the center of this Venn diagram, I just love Venn diagrams. Okay, you have 2 circles. Okay, I just love Venn diagrams. I can't see the word Venn diagram or hear it and not think of that cackling, vile, fucking evil woman. Tyleik Williams and Tate Ratledge both have established themselves in starting roles at defensive tackle and right guard, respectively. Williams and Ratledge were held out of the Lions' Hall of Fame preseason game against the Chargers, but in an effort to potentially get them some game reps, Coach Dan Campbell is considering playing them against the Falcons in the Lions' second preseason game on Friday. Quote, I'm thinking about that, end quote. I would like to get them going this game, but I'm not 100% set on that. End quote. Very Dan Campbellian. That is some Dan Campbellian speak right there. I'm thinking about it. I'm not sure about it. That's what I love to see. Don't give them anything beyond gaining valuable NFL-level game reps. The Lions could also be considering playing their rookies due to injuries among the offensive and defensive lines. Heading into the Falcons game, offensive tackle Dan the Skipper, your friendly neighborhood Dan Skipper ankle, and Jamarco Jones' ankle are both injured and expected not to play. So that sucks for Jamarco Jones. I was hoping to see Jamarco Jones take that number 3 tackle spot. Is that wrong? Is it wrong that I'm so high on Jamarco Jones? It's not that I'm anti-Dan Skipper. Keep Dan Skipper around as your troll tight end package. But I just love me. I like Jamarco Jones. I think he's playing well. I think he's going to be just a fine little addition as a rotationary or reservist role for the Detroit Lions offensive line. He's, however, expected not to play. Same with your friendly neighborhood Dan Skipper. So I guess we're going to see a lot of Giovanni Manu. Ooh, what if he comes out and dominates? What if he comes out and looks absolutely just ragdolling motherfuckers? I know. I live in a world of lots of high. I'm very high on the Detroit Lions. With the Lions with just 9 offensive linemen, meaning they would need to lean on at least one reserve tackle to play beyond a typical single half of football. The debate coaches are likely having is, should we play Ratledge for experience and the ability to roll 2 lines by shifting Colby, the living ham with arms and legs Sorsdal, from guard to tackle? Or should we give extra snaps to Giovanni Manu, an undrafted free agent rookie Mason Miller? The latter of the 2 options is what you need to do. Yeah, at this point, I'm sorry. At this point, giving Colby Sorsdal any reps is stealing away from developmental players. You know what you got in Colby Sorsdal, and that's a big old slab of ham with arms and a leg. He ain't going to do very much. He ain't going to do a whole hell of a lot. Give the young guys reps. Give Giovanni Manu reps. We want Manu. We want Manu. Free Manu. Free Manu. Colby's got to go. Drop him off on the way out of town. I'm not high on Colby Sorsdal. On the defensive line, things are arguably slightly even worse. Injuries to Pat O'Connor and 2 surprise practice absences from Broderick the Bum Martin, undisclosed because he's a bum, could leave the Lions with just 3 or 4 reserve defensive tackles available to play against the Falcons. The Lions opted to rest veteran nose tackle DJ Reader and Roy Lopez against the Chargers, but they're currently the only healthy nose tackles on roster, meaning Lopez would likely have to play. So would the Lions feel comfortable in playing a preseason game with only Lopez, Chris Smith, Miles Adams, and rookie Keith Cooper? Keith Cooper having to give Keith Cooper the reps. I want to see him. Let's go, Keith Cooper. Let's go. Let's go, Keith Cooper. Let's go. Or will they consider playing Williams to gain experience and help with the rotation? With the Lions traveling on Thursday, there's no press conference scheduled before Detroit's next preseason game. We likely won't have an update on the Lions' decision until game time on Friday. What do you guys think? How are we feeling about it, chat? What do we want? What do we want, chat? What are we feeling about it, chat? How are we doing down here? Hope they pull the training wheels off Hooker and let him rip it. Let's go. I want to see what he's got, but if someone doesn't teach our Hooker how to slide, he's going to get concussion again. That dude, Brent, yes, Hendon Hooker. The mobility is a nice thing to have, but you have to slide. Otherwise, you're going to be Tua Tagovailoa, and you're going to be fencing all over the damn screen, dude. Like, no. Hendon Hooker does need to learn how to slide. What's higher, you on Colby Sorsdal, Hendon Hooker's hairline? Ha! Boom, roasted. Yeah, you know me, dude. You know me. I love me some Colby Sorsdal. He's a fucking, he's just a big old slab of ham. He's worthless. I would rather put a fucking old chicken bone out on the offensive line to protect Jared Goff than trust in Colby Sorsdal. Rocky said, broski, that's funny. Rocky Sin, he says, Rocky Sin needs to go to confession. That's right, dude. That's funny. I like that, broski. That's funny and fitting for our demographic of fans, dude. That's a very funny and on-topic joke. Nicely done, broski. Bravo. I'm actually gonna send some hearts in the chat on that one, dude. That's nicely done, broski. Nicely done. How we doing, chat? Still 9 votes. 67% of you say Tesla's the better wide receiver product from the Arkansas Razorbacks. 33% of you still saying that our Midtown or our mid-Manhattan maiden AOC's Tatas are still better than Treylon Burks is at this point. Well, guys, we got about 20 minutes left here. I'm going to go ahead and hit this oil can. Sorry for the delay earlier. Had a little technical issues, but our guy Chase was on it on the remote help there. Appreciate it, Chase. Seriously, brother. Appreciate all of you guys tuning in. Doing a bunch of sharing around. Make sure you click that share button, copy it down on your clipboard. You don't have to share this around with your Nana. Now, if you want to send Nana my way, if she looks like Mary Berry, do you guys know who Mary Berry is? Ooh, let's look up Mary Berry. Mary Berry. Yes. Yes. Mary Berry. Yeah. Oh, look at that silver fox. Woo. Look at Mary Berry. That's our girl right there. Yeah, so if your Nana looks like our girl here, this silver fox, Mary Berry. Oh, she knows how to bake. Oh, look at that. That's oh, yeah. Nana's rocking some Mary Berry aesthetics. Ooh, you send her hat and beards way. You share this channel with Mary Berry right away. If your Nana looks like Mary Berry, let's go. But if not, just copy this link down on your clipboard, share it around like that. Make sure you subscribe if you're new here. Ring all my bells and poke my buttons. Coming to us from Pride of Detroit, Jeremy Reisman, biggest Detroit Lions storylines to watch at every position. Congratulations, Jeremy Reisman. You got me reading you twice. Nope, that was Eric Schlitt. Never mind. Eric Schlitt earlier. I'm so sorry. Jeremy Reisman this morning. We go through every position to break down the biggest storylines for the Detroit Lions. Here we are. Detroit will get their first chance to prove their depth is better than it looked during last week's preseason game opener in the Hall of Fame game. On Friday, the Lions will take on the Atlanta Falcons in their second of 4 exhibition matchups to get ready for the 2025 NFL season. The Lions are not expected to play many, if any, of their starters on Friday night, but we have learned from seasons past depth is drastically important to the team's overall success. And while there are certainly some depth concerns at specific positions, I don't think Detroit's reserves are nearly as bad as they looked last Thursday. I agree with that. I feel like last Thursday, is just one of those things, one of those things to expect in that early of a game. Preseason week 1, looking to shake the rust off, and we do know that the Lions have good reserves. If we didn't have good guys in reserve roles, or we had good coaches to maximize the players in reserve roles, there's no fucking way we would have gone 15-2, won the North, and taken the 1 seed in the NFC playoffs. There's no goddamn way. The Lions. So on this week's podcast, we went position by position and looked at the biggest storylines, most important players. We broke down exactly what is the line for these players against the Falcons. For example, 3 camp battles appear to be heating up the deeper we get into training camp. The backup center job remains very much undecided between players like Michael Neese, Kingsley Ekugan, and Tristan Colon. The third tight end job seen both Kenny Yeboah and Zach Horton gain ground on Shane Zylstra. And with the news that Dan Jackson suffered an injury that landed him on injured reserve, suddenly the battle for 4th safety spot between Lawrence Strickland, Morris Norris, and Ian Kennelly is a big one. What do you guys think about that? What do you guys feel about I think the number 3 tight end spot should go to Kenny Yeboah. I know that Shane Zylstra is the Lions are high on Shane Zylstra, and he is a good pass-catching tight end. But when you're in that 3rd tight end spot, I need a guy who can also block really well. Kenny Yeboah does bring a better ability of run blocking than Shane Zylstra does to the table, while maintaining a relatively high level of receiver ability at the tight end role. Zach Horton should be moved to fullback officially, freeing up then that competition between the tight end spot, and essentially you can focus him in on to just train at fullback, realizing that in a pinch he could play a swing tight end spot. But we already have the big jumbo tight end role with Dan Skipper, tentatively, as long as he gets healthy. And the backup center spot, we're now seeing a bunch of rotationary players, Michael Neese, Kingsley Ekugan, and Tristan Colon. Looks to be fading out. Tate Ratledge in the rotation for reps at center. Going to basically hone him in on the guard all year long. And Graham Glasgow's our starter. I like what I see out of Michael Neese and Ekugan. Colon is okay-ish, but honestly, if we are able to cross-train, or if Miles Frazier comes back and is able to be a reservist role at the tackle and guard spot, maybe we could free up Ratledge to cross-train back over at center and give us that swing style that we famously used with Graham Glasgow and Frank Ragnow. We also break down the latest news regarding Enos Rakestraw's injury, all that sand in his vagina, the Lions' interest in Zadarius Smith, and a lot more in this week's episode. You can check out the episode right here. So if you guys want, you can go ahead and check out their podcast. We're not going to delve too much into it, but there's just some stuff that you can expect to read in that, and some more things that we will look at real intently tomorrow. Is the position battles and things like we said last week, things that instead of being a passive observer, you can sit down and actually watch the the gritty details of the game and get to know the game at a little bit more of an intimate level instead of just watching plays and big play, woo. You can actually see how it develops and know that things are coming based on the first couple steps after the ball is snapped. If you really focus in on how things are breaking down at the line of scrimmage, generally you can tell if the play is going to be a success or not. So those things that we like to look at, and some position battles we can go ahead and poke around at. Sam Armstrong says, if you hold players back because of fear of getting hurt, it takes 3 to 4 games in the regular season to get going. The Lions were notorious for that, and they ended up a 500 team. Yes, you are correct, Sam. That's why I like to see guys get moving and get going and get ready to rock and roll. I want everybody to be at game speed. I want to be warmed up and ready to go when we hit the blocks, when our opponents are still going to be cold and their muscles are going to be tight. We got to hit the ground running, not to be like Vegas knows more than we do, but there is a lot to be said that Vegas has us. I think our win total is 10 and a half. Lions win total odds. I'm pretty sure. I go to DraftKings just because I use DraftKings. I'm pretty sure it's like 10 and a half. Where can I find totals? Where can I find the win totals? I don't want to go game by game. I want to go by win totals. Holy shit. Plus 10,000 for the Lions to win by 43 opening week 1. What if I place that bet? What if I put $1 on that and we go out and we just fucking dismantle the Packers? Boom, there we go. Ten and a half. All right, yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought it was. So Vegas has us winning 10.5 games, or over under being 10 games. You know what I'm saying? I think obviously we're gonna just blow past that number. I think we go undefeated. What the fuck was I saying? Yeah, 10.5, Brent. That's right. All right, so yeah, if we're projected to win 10.5 games, Vegas does know some things that other people don't know. They have a little bit more insight on stuff. Don't know how. They got some type of black magic going on over there. But if they're saying we're only going to win 10.5, that means that we have no room for error. If we want to win the North, we have no room for error based on the Vegas projection and the preseason. So we can't start out of the blocks cold. We need everybody to be ready to go. And if that means that Tate Ratledge needs to get some seasoning in the preseason so that he's ready to rip rock and ready to rock and roll, then yeah, you got to play Tate or Ratledge. I'm all for Tate or Ratledge seeing some reps in the preseason. All right. Well, we kind of flew through today's show. Had a little bit of technical difficulties right off the rip there. And that happens, I appreciate you guys sticking with me, though, through it. The poll's going to close out with 9 total votes, and that is what Razorback wide receiver product is better, Isaac Tesla or Treylon Burks? 67% of you said Isaac Tesla. 0% of you said Treylon Burks, and 33% of you said our Midtown Mid-Maiden AOC's Tatas with 33%. We're going to close that vote out. Appreciate everybody who took part in that. Appreciate all of you who took part in the chat. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your Thursday. That's going to be it for today's show. Remember, we will be live tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. talking Lions preseason week 2, position battles, things you can watch, and our projections. We're going to be taking your guys' chat, seeing what you got to say about the upcoming game. Hopefully we walk away with a nice big W week 2 down in Atlanta, and hopefully our boy Hendon Hooker doesn't look like a big pile of shit. I'd like to see him play a little bit better, but we'll talk more about that tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for telling a friend. I've been Hat and Beard. You've been an attentive audience. Until tomorrow at 10 a.m. Bonga bonga. Frig off.